Hey everybody, how you doing, sixth graders? Today we're going to look at lesson 3 on Mesopotamia, and this one is called One Land, Three Regions. And the goal for this lesson is to be able to differentiate between the regions and subregions within ancient southwestern Asia. Key terms that we're going to be picking up today include region, Middle East, Mesopotamia, and Fertile Crescent. So let's zoom way out. Well, let's just click home. And let's look at the world map, right? So we can see our 7 continents. We can see where we are in North America, and below is South America. Well, we can't see 7 actually because Antarctica is not on this map. They blew it. All right, so 6 of the 7 continents. Here we see Australia, also Oceania. And then cruise over, we see the second largest continent of Africa. North of that, we see Europe, which is connected to the largest continent of Asia, right? So if we look at Asia and we look at this eastern hemisphere, if we are in the middle and we go south and then west, this is the area that we are in, Southwest Asia, right here. And this area of the world is presently often referred to as the Middle East. So let's take a look a little bit closer, shall we?
About 50,000 years ago, the ice age that caused humans to leave Africa came to an end. Monsoon rainfall increased in Arabia and India. Rivers swelled and game spread north. Humans followed the Tigris and Euphrates rivers from the Persian Gulf to the Middle Eastern lands along the Mediterranean Sea, tracing an arc that would become known as the Fertile Crescent. These families in the Fertile Crescent established the first successful human colonies there, more than 10,000 years ago. Here they would learn how to grow crops and keep animals. The rivers provided water to irrigate crops. There were plenty of fish and reeds to build houses and boats. Date palms grew in abundance. Later, the descendants of these first families would build stone structures that would become the cities of Mesopotamia in modern Iraq. The first steps had been taken to the great civilizations that would invent writing, develop warfare, and build empires.
Well, that was informative. So in order to understand what Mesopotamia is, and the Middle East, and the Fertile Crescent, we have to understand what the word region is. So a region is a large land area with shared characteristics. I know back in 4th grade you learned about the different regions in New Jersey, how this one state can be broken into areas where there's shared physical characteristics, where the land is similar, where the economy is similar, where the types of buildings and structures are similar. And when we look at the world in large, we can see there's many different large regions or large land areas that have shared characteristics. One of those is the Middle East. The Middle East lies in between Europe, Asia, and Africa. As previously mentioned, we're in southwestern Asia, right? And we can see within the region of the Middle East, there's a number of countries that are in Asia, like Iran, Saudi Arabia, which is really a crucially important country in learning the history of Islam. We see Syria and Israel, right along here, along the Mediterranean coast, which will play a large role in the histories of both Christianity and Judaism. So if you're paying attention, 3 major world religions can trace their origins right to this area. And lastly, within the Asian continent that we want to talk about is Iraq. And when we go to Mesopotamia, much of that is going to be in present-day Iraq. But if we look at 2 other countries in this region, Turkey and Egypt, these are both bicontinental countries, meaning that they are on two continents. So if you look here by Istanbul, this area by the Bosporus Strait, that area is in Europe. So Turkey is in Asia and in Europe. So part of the Middle East is in Europe. And Egypt, which is in the Middle East, part of it right here in the Sinai Peninsula is in Asia, but part of it is most of it, in fact, is in Africa. So we see parts of the Middle East are within 3 different continents. This region is crucially important, not just in studying human history, but current world affairs. So if we zoom in to this area, we're going to find Mesopotamia, a region inside the Middle East. Most of Mesopotamia is found in present-day Iraq, but we can see also the nation of Kuwait, parts of Iran, and parts of Syria are part of this region. So let's go back to the notes for a second and look at that. Mesopotamia means the land between the rivers. Its name comes from Greek because many of our terms in history come from the Greeks. And the 2 rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates River, are really crucial in attracting people. Just like we talked about before, rivers attract people. The silt, the fertile soil, the availability of water resources draw people in. And when you have a land that has 2 rivers in it, that's even more attractive. So the land between the rivers, Mesopotamia, is going to be really important in attracting the first settlers to develop the first civilizations. Lastly, Mesopotamia is part of another larger region called the Fertile Crescent. If you look, extending from the Nile River basin along the Mediterranean coastline down into Mesopotamia towards the Persian Gulf, there is a curve shape, a green curve shape. And if we look around it, we can see in the Zagros Mountains, in the Arabian Peninsula, in the Arabian Desert, there's a lot of hot, dry, arid areas that are really difficult to farm. But again, this fertile area along here draws and attracts people towards settlement. The Fertile Crescent. So, for your exit card today, why was the region where the first civilizations began called Mesopotamia? I look forward to reading your answers on Google Classroom. Thanks so much for watching.